Hey guys, LaJonna here, and just wanted to take a second and let you guys know that I've started a new round. Actually, Justin and I are both doing another round. It's going to be my round 4 and Justin's round 3. We just got done with our loading days, and I feel super yucky, super puffy, all that good stuff today. I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. I think I looked back and my last vlog was in November, and it was an update on my P3, which was going really well at that time. I don't think we've done our round. See, I think I finished my last round like September maybe of last year, of 2011. So that was last September, almost a year. But nonetheless, I did okay, did great. And Justin also, as far as maintaining over the last basically a year. Just over the last few months though, he and I have both gotten super lazy with the low carb lifestyle that we've been trying to do, and it does work, by the way. I feel so much better. I feel so much healthier. I never knew that I had allergies to food that apparently I do until I started doing the low carb. And since we live like that most of the time, that's one of the main things I noticed drastically on this load is that with eating, the different, eating the white flour and the sugar that my body's really not used to on a regular basis, I am all nasally and mucus and sneezing and just aching in my joints, stuff that I had not had to deal with over the last year doing in the maintenance phase. So it's really kind of interesting, and I'm so glad that I did it, because my first few rounds, I wasn't on P3 doing the low carb thing long enough to really get used to my body feeling that much better for long term, and that it is something that I noticed drastically different now, like I said, with the loading. Myself and Justin ended up going into this round, like, I think it's right at 8 pounds gained back from what we had both lost in our previous rounds. I know that sounds terrible, but really it isn't. It's just been a thing that's been gradually happened over a period of time, and a couple of major mess ups that we chose to have and just didn't correct. And we know how to do that. I know how to do that. I just didn't do it. It's not as big a deal to me anymore as it used to be. I'm at such a healthier weight now than I was when I started originally. I was at 160, I think. I'm 4'11", so 160 was just ridiculous. I think I started this round at 130.4. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to get everything off that I gained and maybe a couple more pounds during this round. Justin's going to do a 21, 23 day round, whatever the short round is. And I'm going to try to do the 30-day round. We both have a cruise coming up in October that we're trying to get ready for. So now's the time to get this started, and then we'll probably do another round as soon as it's time again to do another round once we get done, because both of us want to get to our ideal weight. And we were kind of taking a long time off, and I knew eventually I was wanting to do more rounds just to get down to round 110 if at all possible. So we'll probably be doing another round after this one, but I'm going to let you guys know how it's going. Like I said, this is a VLCD one for me, and it was such a relief today not to have to eat all that junk that we had to stuff with the last 2 days. But I'm not going to be updating every day, probably just once a week. I'm not going to be weighing every day, probably just once a week. I am going to weigh the next couple of days just to see how my loading weight comes off, how quickly. But then after that, I'm probably going to take the weight loss apocalypse approach and not weigh as often, just because in my last rounds, I let it affect how I looked at every day. If I didn't lose, I had a horrible bad day, and then from reading, Weight Loss Apocalypse, once again, it tells you what you already know. There are fluctuations so drastic in our bodies every day that have nothing to do with fat. So I'm just not gonna go there. I'm not gonna let myself succumb to that this round, and we're gonna see how it goes. Like I said, I'll update you guys probably in a few days over the, and update you for about 5 days at a time. So it was so good to see you guys. So sorry I've been MIA for so long. But I hope that, any of this can help the newbies out there that are just starting their rounds. And happy releases to all of you guys, and maintenance. Love ya. Bye.